This interview is approved by the administration of German Indianerland.
Hello. Today we have an interview with Herr Governor Georg Friedrich von Kulmbach II, Governor General of German Indianerland, and his secretary Ingo Daimler.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to be here. We will start by showing a clip of Indianer laborers happily working on a state infrastructure project.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away.
You seem to have made a lot of progress in Indianerland. Tell me, Herr Governor, why was Indianerland colonized? What were Germany's motives?
Indianerland was colonized in the best interest of its people. Before the arrival of the German administration, Indianerland was among the most underdeveloped nations, if one could call it that, in the world. Without technology, infrastructure, or education, the Indianers lived lives of squalor. The entirety of the present territory lay in a fractured state, with each of the countless principalities ruled by barbarous tyrants. Once Germany received word of the plight of the fearful land, the people took upon themselves the noble task of saving Indianerland.
Actually, the Indianers were monsters. They ate with their hands and wear next to no clothing. We colonized Indianerland because the Indianers are evil and incompetent.
Be quiet, Ingo.
Were there any nationalist motives for colonizing?
Not one. As I stated, we colonized Indianerland on moral principle. How could any nation stand idle knowing the fate of the Indianers? The German people knew they must fight injustice, no matter how distant.
He's lying. He really thinks the Germans are the best.
Let us now shift our focus to the current state of the colony. How will the administration address the demands of the Indian Nationalist Party?
We refuse to accommodate the demands of the nationalist rebels. The ruthless Abiy Nikit demands the end of colonial rule in Indianerland and the creation of an independent state. I would like for you to appreciate the outrageous nature of these demands. Our intelligence indicates Abiy Nikit plans to make himself dictator of his new state, and we cannot allow such an injustice to occur. One of our principal motives of colonizing Indianerland was to provide just government to the masses oppressed by the tyrannical princes that ruled before us. To submit to Nikit is to abandon all the progress we have made here, and more importantly, our mission as Germans. Furthermore, an unbiased appraisal of the facts yields the conclusion that Nikit is incapable of delivering his promises. Nikit's glorious state will fall into shambles for lack of competent administrators and the necessary capital, which Germany has hitherto provided, to further develop of Indianerland.
How will the administration put an end to the increasingly violent protests?
We want to avoid a war at all costs, but demonstrations have taken on a violent character in the last couple weeks. Use of force may become necessary.